Oh, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 634 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles, joined, as always, by Stephen Kyle Brackey, Oliver the Bear, the Sunburned Bear of Stone. No Ben Askren today. He's flying somewhere for something he's got to do on Saturday, allegedly. So in his stead, we have of the FloWrestling content team, John Kozak. John, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's good to be here from Facebook comments, getting fired, and now here we are.
It is quite the redemption story. It's the one no one expected, but yeah, from the Facebook, it almost feels like you should be in the Facebook chat. But now we're gonna even get that quicker when we ask a question. You know, we have to like.
We don't have
stare
to wait
at the chat.
anymore.
That's
yeah.
right. You're just gonna say it right now.
There you go.
So no pressure, but welcome, John. John's in town for this week. Just doing the basic arrangements. He and his awesome family will be relocating to Austin. So we're excited about that. We're excited about a lot. A lot of news. They did the classic news dump on us. They love to wait. As soon as FRL ends, Thursday at 10 o'clock Central, they like to drop all the news. So some of the news that's come out, one, the Deans are gone. They're out.
They're out of here. See ya.
Later on, they're leaving Cornell no matter what. And we'll see where they wind up. The early rumor mill is back to Michigan, whether that's Michigan State, or whatever, remains to be seen. I'm sure there's a long line of suitors who would love to have Max and Gabe. How they work that out with Gabe, probably looking to coach, maybe is a complication of sorts, especially since it's not like, okay, you be on the RTC kind of situation, but Dean's going to be a coveted guy, as is his brother Max. And the reasons I don't exactly, Coach Cole said, basically he just didn't want to miss a year, which makes total sense. And if I were in Ivy League, because they canceled the spring sports too, right, Bracky?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they canceled everything.
So they canceled all the sports. So I understand as an athlete not wanting to give up a year, but I think Gabe Dean's tweet was just all cryptic and like, maybe I can send it to Tyler, but that just made me, or Bracky's going to send it. It just didn't sound like, hey, I don't want to risk losing a year. Made it sound like something else, which, fair or not, is kind of the thing. So I'll just read it here shortly after he sends it. But Gabe said, I want to publicly make a statement that the news being generated right now has nothing to do with Spartan or Spartan Combat at all. Spartan Combat has done nothing but help the Cornell program. There's no animosity. I've greatly appreciated all their support. The truth of why this is all happening will eventually prevail. It always does. This is very dramatic. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's referring to. Because the truth is simple as, told to Coach Cole, is like, I don't want to miss a year. That's like nothing that has to like come out. It's sort of obvious. So I don't know what your all thoughts are on that, but maybe we'll get more of the story. We obviously reached out to the Deans, and at this point they weren't wanting to talk about it, which is fine. But yeah, still juicy news. It's definitely gonna shift, and for Cornell, as we've already mentioned, it's gutting news for them to lose a title contender at 184.
It's just crazy because, someone said it in the Facebook chat here, Jeff Baxter, like when you think Cornell, you think the Deans, right?
Yes. Like
there's just been such a mainstay with that program for, 7 years now? Maybe longer? 8?
8.
However long. And it's going to be really weird to see them no longer associated with Cornell and wrestling for somebody else next year.
Yeah. I remember when this was so early on that I didn't know who Gabe Dean was, and really no one did. So I was emailing Coach Cole, like asking for their lineups and just like his thoughts on the team. And he said, like, Gabe Dean is going to he's like, I will be stunned if Gabe Dean is not an All-American this year. He's going to be really good. And I was like, Gabe Dean? I didn't have no idea who he was. I looked at his results the year before. They were not good. And then by December or January, he had beaten Ed Ruth and was household at that point. And it's been prominent. Dean name has been a prominent fixture at Cornell ever since. So strange thing. Cornell, though, still has a great team.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be awesome next year. It's just if you want to climb that rung and contend for a title, it's going to be a lot tougher without someone as good as Max. KB, do you have some other updates in the transfer coming back realm? That's kind of your domain.
Yeah, so we'll start with the transfers. Last week, I said maybe I'll start reaching out to some of these guys in the portal, see what they're thinking, and I did just that.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Put his money where his mouth
and
is.
I talked to the first person I said I was going to talk to. I talked to GTG. I talked to Gas Tank Gary.
That's who the people have been asking about. They
He
wanna
gave me
know-
a follow on the social media. Never been more proud.
He followed you?
Followed me.
That's a big one.
I was
That's a
amped.
good get.
That's big time.
Big time.
So I
I've
talked
made
to Gary. It sounds like a decision will come this week.
Ooh.
First of all, and he's down. He told me 5 schools, and just going in alphabetical order. That would be Indiana, Iowa State, Oregon State, Pitt, and Purdue. And when you look at kind of those lineups, 4 of the 5 didn't qualify heavyweight last year, and the one that did and actually got an All-American was Iowa State and Gannon Grimmel. And going into the returning tracker news, it sounds like he will not be back for Iowa State.
No more G Graham.
No more G Graham, but what a run we had, man! From Fargo,
Let's go.
let's go G Graham, to an All-American honor. Quite a career for him. Yeah, it sounds like he won't be back. But yeah, I mean Gary's a big get for somebody. He has a win over Neville's. He almost majored Luke Luffman, who at times last year was in the top 10.
Yeah.
So quite a get, and it'd be interesting to see maybe he chooses one of those Big Ten schools to maybe get a chance at Orndorff.
Which building does he have the best chance to electrify? Because that's what I would totally base the.
Ooh, that's a good
decision
question.
around.
Honestly, I think it might be Iowa State
Yeah, I was gonna say Hilton.
because they have the biggest fan base. They're going to have the most fans out of all of those teams. And that Iowa State, they say the Hilton Magic.
Oh, man.
Magic things happen in Hilton. I can
Imagine
see.
pouring gas on Magic.
Right. And remember Raise the Rough?
That's crazy.
That is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Raise the Rough with G Grim?
That was an Elton, yeah.
What if I was going back and watching some Gary things, and he was always doing the feed me thing.
Feed me.
Which
is,
feed him.
For heavyweights, that's one of their
That's
favorite
right.
things. They're
Very
your guys.
apropos.
Yeah, it's very appropriate. Ollie is the official heavyweight of FloWrestling Radio Live. You'd say that checks out. That's a good celebration.
Yeah, big time. Or I like to do the tummy rub.
Can you rub your tummy? You got very sunburnt, Ollie.
Yes, this one is not as bad. Yesterday I would not have been able to do this action.
Ollie
would've been
is straight up pink. From
I-
some. What were you? Just respectfully, what were you thinking?
Okay, laying out by the pool, not respecting the sun, first thing.
You
was
gotta
first.
respect your opponent.
I gotta respect my opponent. I didn't. Sitting there, my skin's starting to get hot, and I'm like, all right, it's early on. We're like 30 minutes in, Good friend JD joins the pool party.
Right.
Sunscreen, game changer. Boom. Throw some of that on, thinking I'm safe. Not safe.
Really?
I go back.
So 30 minutes in, you apply
Well,
this.
no. So like now I apply. Then we hang out for a while longer, in and out of the pool. Apply.
So you reapplied.
I tried.
You tried to. How do you? Try
Well, I'll
to
say this. I thought I reapplied. It didn't work. So I go back into my apartment to go to the bathroom or something. I see my roommate, and I'm like, "Am I sunburned?" He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "How bad? Like, is it gonna hurt?" He goes, "Well, you're pretty red already, and that's not a good sign." So yeah, yesterday the morning wasn't great. Moving around was rough, but I got to it, powered through, came to the office, and this morning was much easier.
But you know what? You didn't come into work yesterday like a sunburn victim. You didn't have that victim mentality.
I didn't.
You were positive.
Yeah.
And that's why I respect you, Ollie. One of the many reasons. Okay. So that's GTG update.
That's GTG update.
And sunburn update.
And Ollie's sunburn update. Like I said, sounds like a decision this week. I didn't get a feel for who a favorite would be, but I don't know. Any of those guys getting a top 20 heavyweight. And then the other, that article will run on the site today later if you want to check it out. The other one that's not up on the site, so you're getting this before before it goes up on the site, is Andrew McNally. He's ranked number 10 at 174 right now. He's got 1 year. Both these guys have 1 year left. So they would have been done if they hadn't gotten the free year. But he's at Kent State, and he's going to transfer to either Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, or Pitt. So Iowa State and Pitt in the mix for both these guys. And McNally's a pinner, man. He's got some nasty stuff, and would be a really good get for any of those guys. And the most interesting one probably on that list for me is Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
When they have a guy like Dustin Plott already at 174, that tells me they probably want a redshirt Plott.
Well, it would seem like that would make sense for Plott, given his, he's clearly injured throughout a decent amount of last year. He could use a year just to get healthy. He's going to be good once he's healthy. So I think and plus, you've got a really good guy. Montalvo was a top 10 guy a lot of last year, I feel. So you have room for him then. He can get in the lineup. I think McNally makes sense for Oklahoma State, but there's a lot of other, solid contenders there.
Yeah, Wisconsin looking to go into the portal to fill the hole that Cradinger left when he went in the portal.
A reportal.
Right, a reportal situation. Pitt struggled at 74 last year, if I'm remembering correctly. And who was the other one? Oh, man, I'm struggling right now.
For what?
Oh, Iowa State.
Yeah.
They they didn't have a great 74 last year either. So.
Okay. So,
Sorry.
no problem. No problem at all. So, other news. There are several more news dumps yet to come. Strategically positioned.
Oh, and then on the coming back front real quick, probably the biggest one that I got was Ryan Deacon saying he's not sure yet.
Oh, boy.
No decision's been made yet.
Dang.
Yeah.
What would be next for him? Do you think he'd go freestyle or go to the next thing?
If he's not coming back, I would just assume freestyle.
Yeah.
I don't think it's leave Northwestern type thing. I feel like it's just whether he wants to do another college season or not.
Yeah. Man. We were feeling, the way his season ended was truly a pretty big surprise. Okay, so Jim Heffernan retires, the head coach at Illinois for 23 years, I want to say.
He wasn't the head coach for that long. It was 13 head coach, but he was on staff at Illinois for 29.
Dang. That's a heck of a run. So my biggest question, I guess, with that is for Illinois, is this a, hey, next guy up type of situation? Like they had their coach in waiting with either Hunter or Poeta, or are they going to do a full national search? Because if it's a full national search, I think there's going to be a long list of candidates that are going to be super interested in that position. It's in the Big Ten. It's in Illinois, which is a talent-rich state. So you have to figure there's going to be a decent amount of interest. And I don't know if there's been much speculation about what they're going to do. My thought when I heard it was they're just going to replace from within.
That's what I thought too.
I don't know why I think that. That's just what I think. So it'll be interested to see as more news comes out now that this will be kind of the first week of the opening as we start to get a little news about who could go where and who would be interested in that position.
It was funny. Literally that day in the office, I'd put together the coaching carousel article, and there were 2 things on it.
Yeah, I remember you said, dude, nothing's going on with coaching carousel.
Yeah, and I was talking to Bray. I was like, I don't even know if we should run this as a banner yet. Nothing's happened really. It's just the Tervel and then someone else, just an assistant coach move, and
now NATO's gone.
Yeah, NATO to the Oklahoma RTC came out this morning. And then the Heffernan news comes out, and like you said, I just don't know. I just get a feeling they're just going to promote either Hunter or Poeta.
Yeah, Hunter been there a while for sure. Okay, and then I don't know. This is maybe the most exciting news. Austin Gomez is unretired. So another unretired wrestler. Frank Molinaro retired. He unretired. Now Austin Gomez is unretired, but he also is transferring. He's leaving Iowa State. He wants to go somewhere else. He has graduated. He would like to wrestle 141 pounds, and the short list is, this is speculation. It's not from Austin or anything, but, there's interest from Oklahoma State, Wisconsin, UNC in the mix there. But as far as his short list, we don't have that yet. So hopefully we'll get that at some point and can talk about where he's looking to go. But obviously someone that can help a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Wins over Roman, went over to Santo. High flyer, big move guy, likes to pin. So if he can find the right spot, he's going to be able to help a right team. Now, obviously, I think there's going to be some complications with Austin in terms of, how hard he's able to train with his concussions and things like that. But they can get him back operating the way he was early in his Iowa State days. He's going to be a force for sure.
Yeah, it'd be cool to hear, kind of his story and even just how he got to the decision to change his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it would be awesome to see him really end his college career on a high note. Even just looking at his WrestleStat profile, how they do like the little ambulance next to his years.
Yeah.
He's got 2020 ambulance, 2021 ambulance. So it's just like injury. And so, I mean, you imagine him having the time to sit out and maybe kind of, rethink some things is kind of how he made this decision. And if he's feeling great and ready to go, you'd just love to see him have some success and find success wherever he goes,
Okay, here, straight from the horse's mouth. This is from Austin Gomez like 1 minute ago. He got calls from Illinois, Wisconsin, UNI, Wyoming, and Oklahoma State is calling today, and Oklahoma is called. So there you go. There's a lot of good options on that list, and I'm sure more will be calling. As the news came out Friday, right?
I think it was Thursday
Or was
night
it
too.
Thursday?
Yeah, it was Thursday night.
That's
too.
right, Thursday
Yeah.
night, and then
The
Friday.
Heffernan and Gomez thing happened like within a half hour of each other, like him officially going in the portal. Yeah.
Maybe Gomez is the next head coach at Illinois.
Didn't see that coming.
That would be the ultimate transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's interesting. And Austin's a really good freestyler as well.
Mm-hmm.
Would like to see him. I guess he would be a 65 kilogram guy, but I think he could be interesting. He had some battles with Mitch McKee back in the day when he was trying to make junior world teams. I think at 60.
Oh, and the other thing too, he's going up. I don't know if you said he's going up to 41.
41.
Yeah.
And that was something that I think was pretty predictable, just given, he gets big in the offseason. And 33, I think, is a tough cut for him. So 41, I think, makes sense. So excited to see where Austin winds up. When the news came out, we were disappointed because everyone loves watching Austin Gomez wrestle. And now he could be back. So exciting stuff. Now, with all of the D1 news, and there's more we can get back to later, but we had a big weekend of international wrestling. We had the Asian Olympic Games qualifier. Our man John Kozak, he knows the deal. He knows what was going on. There's some big news at 65. Obviously, we have a close eye on the 65 qualification process because Jordan Oliver is not yet qualified. 65 is not qualified for the United States. He's going to have to go to the last chance. So everyone that doesn't qualify here is likely going to be at last chance. So how's that looking for us based on what happened this weekend?
Yeah, so this is the last continental qualifier going into the last chance, which is next month in May, which Oliver will have to go through, and he'll have to make the finals to qualify for the Olympics. And so there were basically three big guys going into the Asians, which Bek Bulatov was number one. He's a Russian transfer from Uzbekistan. And the other two were Little Yazdani from Iran.
Is he actually, his little brother, is his last name just Yazdani?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Could be his son for all we know.
I got to call in to Big Yazdani's parents.
Okay.
For a call back.
Thank you.
And then Ahmed Aliyev from Kyrgyzstan. And Bek Bulatov was rolling 10 O-Tex and looked to be on his way to another one. And then he gets chin whipped to a headlock and is ultimately pinned by Ahmed Aliyev. So that's kind of the bad news for American fans in a random draw, that Bek Bulatov could catch Oliver, right off the bat. And that's a really, really tough draw. He's kind of the guy that we didn't want in the last chance, and now he's there. And so now we just pray that random draw to the random draw gods, that they're opposite side and that Oliver doesn't have to go through them. And it's going to be a tough field at 65. There's like 12 guys who I would say who are really solid, going to be really tough outs, and then there'll be another 12 or so entered. So it'll be a good field, a big tournament. And so that was kind of the big news from Asians.
Yeah, so who are the biggest contenders at 65 outside of Jo? I know Kinchikishvili's in the mix now. Bekbulatov.
Yeah. So you have those two, and then Gadziev from Poland, who is a 2-time world medalist, up at 70 kilograms, and he's coming down. He's also a Russian transfer. You got Skryabin from Belarus, who is a Euro silver medalist, also Russian transfer. Haji Ali from Russia, and now is representing Bahrain. So you got, I think, 4 former Russians in the field, and then a few other guys. But those guys are kind of past their prime, and so it looks like Bekbulatov is really, he's the guy that is,
He's the best guy in there.
Yeah, best guy in the field, kind of.
Other than Jo.
Other than Jo. Seems like he's in his prime the most, but yeah, I'll have something out soon, kind of detailing who Oliver's going to have to go through and what they've done in the past, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Bekbulatov is a big. I mean, a lot of the other names I'm not as concerned with. Even Kinchikishvili, I feel like Yanni kind of laid out a good template for beating him, and I don't know. It's not the same Vladimir. I feel like he's never been the same at 65. Like, his results just never quite translated. I think in a perfect world he'd be a 61. But 65 is the Olympic weight, so that's where he goes. So I feel like he has not been quite the same guy, so I'm not as worried about him. But Bekbulatov is a 4-time Urigan champ, just one of the best guys not to make a team in Russia in quite some time. And him transferring to Uzbekistan basically clears the path for him to make teams. Now we'll see what he can get done at the World Championships.
Yeah, Bekbulatov was always kind of the number 2 or number 3 guy in Russia, but he was behind Romanov and Chikayev.
Rashidov.
Rashidov. So world medalists, Olympic champs, world champs, and to be the number 2, he's won Russian nationals before. So he is, he's every bit of legit.
Yeah, and he's big. He looks like a really good size 65.
He hasn't competed at 65. This is his first time down at 65 since 2018. He'd been up at 70. So that's something maybe is good news, is that he's maybe sucking a little bit too much weight, and maybe not prime, ready to go. So we'll see.
So there's this is just rumors, but that there may be a true second for the last chance, which would be kind of a first. I'm checking to verify that, but that began circulating on Twitter, rumor mill stuff. So that would be quite a shakeup. I think I like it. I think true second's cool, because especially random draw, if you end up with the 3 best guys on one side, when it's I don't know why, but when the real prize is being top 2, I like it that. For I wouldn't like it if we're having the World Championships and you wrestle the finals, true second. I think that'd be preposterous. But if you're trying to send 2, the best 2, I think I like it.
Yeah, and that would be great. I just don't. I hadn't seen it until last night. Like, somebody put it out there, and I was even looking at the schedule, and if you look at the schedule for the last chance, it just says semifinals, Tokyo qualifier round. So, to me, that's that's pretty clear. That's it. Unless they change something, I'd love to see true second, but I don't. That just goes against everything we've seen in the past, and kind of goes against maybe what we feel like they want for the Olympics, that parity and not giving everybody the same opportunity to win a medal or to get true second.
Yeah. So 65 is obviously the weight we're most concerned with. But what other countries don't have with some other weights? What are some big ones? I know that 57 had a big one.
Yeah, 57 had the Rei Higuchi for Japan was set to be the rep there to qualify the weight, and that story is really interesting to me, at least. I don't know if you're into this stuff, but Higuchi was 2016 Olympic silver medalist, and then after the Olympics he went up in weight to 65, beat Odaguru, but then lost the wrestle-off to be the world team rep. He won U23s at 65, and then he drops back down to 57. and beats Takahashi, who is a world champ as
Yeah.
well. And then Higuchi misses weight at the Continental qualifier.
I mean, I can't believe that.
By 50 grams, which is like two ounces if you didn't know the
What?
conversion. So he missed by 2 ounces, and so now
Do they not want the best field at the Olympics?
I think he weighed in 15 minutes late, but
Yeah.
Oh
how
my
many how
gosh.
many minutes late was he?
yeah, I don't know. And they like did a little interview with him, the Japanese federation, and he said something like, "Now I need to go home in isolation and prayer and take this to my heart and get right for the next step." So Japan has 2 really good guys kind of sitting at 57. So for Gilman, it's kind of good news if they have somebody still at home. They have a Olympic medalist and a world champ still not qualified for the Olympics.
Will it be tough for them to get it qualified? And do you think they send Higuchi? I mean, is he too big for the weight now?
Yeah, so he won the Olympic spot back in December of 2019, and then at the same national tournament in 2020, he lost to a guy that then Takahashi beat. So
Yeah.
he loses in a national tournament and then doesn't make weight. So he could be too big. I don't know who they'll send, but if whoever they send would be the favorite. 57 isn't as deep as 65 would be at the last chance. So I expect whoever they would send would qualify, but it's kind of their decision to make now.
Interesting. Any other news in qualification?
What's his deal with, like, since Japan's the host country?
Yeah.
Can they?
So in the past, every host country, or the host country has gotten to send a guy at every single weight, but this year at the Olympics, if they don't have anybody qualified at, say, all of men's freestyle, any of the 6 weight, then they get 1 spot. So
They don't want to use it on 57.
they can't. No, they don't, because they already have guys qualified. They don't get to.
They would only get a spot if no one was
Yeah,
qualified.
yes. If they
Wait.
had 0 of 6 qualified,
Oh,
they would
got
get
it.
to say, okay, we'll pick 57 and we'll send a guy there. But because they already have 65
Gotcha.
And 74 qualified, they don't just get to pick and choose another weight.
I think that's good. I mean, can you imagine a scenario, and where's the, I don't know, if the Olympics were in France or in Paris or something, which I think they're going to be.
Yeah, maybe 2028.
24.
2024. Okay.
Yeah.
So in 2024, imagine if France had someone in every single weight.
Yeah.
It's a small bracket as is.
Right.
So
16, I think.
we gotta,
Russia would be transferring there.
yeah,
No
they
doubt.
would.
Yeah,
That'd
seriously.
be genius.
Yeah.
It'd be Friev's greatest moment.
Yeah, but Iran qualified all their weights, including Mohammedian, who was we learned he
He's
was
scary.
very
Oh.
scary when he technical and pinned Snyder. So not the best news, but we'll see how that works out. Russia still doesn't have their heavyweight qualified, so that's kind of the other major one.
How good are they
yeah,
going to be
last
at
chance.
heavyweight?
They
They ain't got Gable. So
yeah, they're not going to beat.
sorry about that.
I don't see them beating Gable, maybe medaling, but I don't see anybody that they have there challenging for gold.
Okay, interesting. All right. So we had a question here, and sometimes questions from friends get promoted to actual segments. This one is from Bailey Brown at Dan's Brita Filter, who says, over the last month or so, Ali has become probably my favorite person of all time. Wow. Can we learn about him? Like, who's his favorite wrestler? What's his favorite color? The fans are dying to know more about Awesome Ali. Wow.
Oh, shucks, Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey, really.
That's rave reviews, man.
I
Shout
don't
out
know
you guys.
I don't know if he's angling for an internship or something, or
Well,
just wants.
I'm the wrong guy to go to. I don't really give out internships, but I'll put in a good word for you, buddy. I got you there. That's all I could do, really.
So let's just get to the Ali origin story. Begin at the beginning. Who is Oliver Stone? Where did you come from?
I am Oliver Stone. I hail from Long Beach, New York, Long Island stand-up. Famous place. You might know Dylan Palacios from there, Ja'Cory team. A very storied wrestling program. As we've mentioned here, I was the heavyweight / 215 pounder for the Long Beach wrestling team
Good
and
flex.
the captain.
Oh,
and the captain. When I took third in the county tournament, it sealed the deal. Won Long Beach's first county title in about a decade. So if you go back to the Long Beach wrestling room, there's like they have all the county champs up, but I never won counties, and they were like, we need him a part of our history. So there's the captain set up, and like my singlets hanging up there.
no.
All right, I made that part.
Man, I was like, what?
But like still, like if you go around, my coach really likes me, and they'll tell stories about me, and they're like, he works at Flow and stuff. So they are proud of me. Shout out Coach Adams, Coach Palacio, Coach Valentine, and all the other good coaches at Long Beach Wrestling.
Palacio relation to
That's Leo. Leo is Dylan's father.
Dylan's dad.
Yes, learns a lot of his ridiculous tricks from that guy.
Like
so.
the Peterson?
The Peterson, very good at the Peterson, Mr. Palacio. His trick was hit you with the Peterson, hold you on your back. When you're about to get out and reverse them, time, next guy in. So, big trickster like that.
That's good.
But yeah, I went on to wrestle at Hunter College. Had a pretty good first semester, and then my grades sucked, and they kicked me off the team.
What? No, they didn't even like want to get you a tutor or like.
Well, they were like, you need a 2.0. You got a 1.8. Do better and like join the team next year. So I definitely did better. Pulled up the next semester, got over a 3.5, I think.
Wow.
So really cracked down on the books. And then my coach had a conversation with him, and I was like, I don't really want to wrestle here. So stopped wrestling there. It was a bit of a grind with commuting and that type of deal. 5 a.m. lifts on the train, this and that. So from there went
Where's
on.
Hunter College?
Hunter College, New York City. It is on the corner of 68th and Lexington. Great, storied.
Of course.
Yeah.
68 in Lexington.
Very nice area, Upper East Side, right next to the Central Park there. Would have my lunches there sometimes and sit by the water. Very pretty. But after that, wrestling there, my volunteer coach that was coaching me as a high school wrestler got a head coach job and was like, hey, I need some heavyweight coaches. Would you want to join? So I did, created a heavyweight dynasty at Hewlett High School, where it was like 5 years in a row, either a 220 or heavyweight guy was all county, if not in the finals, and first all-state wrestler for Hewlett, Mike Curiel, heavyweight. Shout out to Big Man. That was my protege.
Wow. So your protege. So obviously you're molding these monsters in your likeness. So
yes.
what would their stylings be?
Lots of details in heavyweight hand fighting. Kyle has heard about these details, and people will say like, "Oh, heavyweights do nothing." No, you guys just don't get heavyweight wrestling. There's a lot of
Chess.
Yes, a lot of fine details in there.
Right.
So, I'm not going to teach you them right now. Don't want to give away Hewlett's secrets because they're still doing their thing out there. But
big of you.
Yes. Now, I was a big conditioning guy because I wasn't very strong or good for that matter. So I would grind guys out, get them tired, and that's where I got them. Now, my wrestlers didn't like that. They didn't like that style. They were athletic and big and strong, and they were like, I could just pin them, so I don't need good conditioning. So,
yeah, how do you combat that? And when an athlete says, "Well, what if I just pin him right now?"
you yell at them.
Okay.
You yell at them a
That
lot.
helps. All right.
And then extra physical wrestling. Hit them in the head, snap down, stuff like that. So
Push them out of bounds.
push them out of bounds, push out point. I wish I would have killed in high school. Definitely went to state if there was a push out point.
Really?
Yeah, I was killing. I would move these big mugs around. They didn't know what the hell was going on. So,
Can we? Can I ask? Can we get some Ollie
Some footy?
footage? Yeah.
it used to be somewhere on Flow. This was when it was more user submitted. And my team, Hunter College, would like put our stuff on there so we could study. And there's actually me taking out this giant dude who was like Florida State champ, this or that. I said, I don't give a rip. I took him out. Yeah. But you won't. There is footage of me and my high school team breakdancing, and I do a move called the Dead Man, which is really just a front flip flat onto my back. So that's pretty cool. There's definitely some footage of there. You could find that. But after my coaching time, I graduated from Hunter College with a film degree.
With honors.
No. I had to get my little transcript signed by the head of my department because like one of the grades wasn't that great, but I was like, look, the rest of them are that great.
We discovered on the watch party that he may or may not have graduated.
I definitely graduated. Don't put that slander.
No.
I don't have my diploma.
He never got his diploma, which makes me think he didn't graduate.
They might have. I think I had to go pick it up and I didn't.
Yeah.
I think it was something like that.
The greatest Flo diploma story ever is JD Rader. 1 week in, his diploma gets mailed to HQ for some reason. I guess he didn't have for whatever reason he had it sent here. He takes it out, opens it up. You know, it's like that fine paper or whatever. You know, you're supposed to frame it or whatever. Takes it out, boom. Gets a thumbtack, boom, pops it right in the corkboard in front of his
Bulletin board
desk.
there.
Immediately stabs through it. It's like,
Yeah.
It's still hanging up there. It's like crooked and everything.
At least he's got it. But I will say, when I interviewed here at Flow, no one really pressed me for proof. I could have said I went anywhere. It seems like you guys would have bought it.
So, Ollie, I found your bio from Hunter College.
Okay.
So, people wanted to know your favorites of things.
Yo,
and
I remember some of that stuff on there.
So, I want to know, are these still your favorites?
Food,
And
mac and cheese, it's definitely top 3.
Food, mac and cheese, movie, Mr. Deeds.
Oh, it's definitely not my favorite, but it's fire. It's slept on. I don't know why I would put that as my favorite movie at that time.
Because it's your favorite,
But
man.
it's a heater. It's good. It's good.
Athlete, Allen Iverson.
I remember putting AI and like practice.
Virginia.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
practice.
And then,
he's a
quote, to get what you never had, you must do what you've never done.
That lived on top of my door
All right.
in high school.
All
I would read it every day as I left.
You know what? You're kind of, it's a little too on the nose with the heavyweight's favorite food being mac and cheese. I'm just going to say that.
I mean, I am a heavyweight through and through.
Yeah, you really are. Even though you kind of have abandoned some of your heavyweight ways.
Like being fat is mostly, but I'm still a little fat at the belly. You guys saw the sunburned pink belly. So, won't show on stream. Don't need any screenshots of that going around on Twitter.
Good call.
But, yeah, big time mac and cheese. Like, how are you going to hate on mac and cheese, you know? It's
don't.
always good.
Yeah, definitely don't. Okay, so
Not a lot of people are like, I'm out on mac and cheese.
so you maybe graduated, maybe not. Who's to say? And who really cares? You know, I don't know.
I'm here.
I
It
looked
doesn't
through.
matter
I looked
anymore.
through a lot of applications. I don't know where anyone went to college other than Bracky, who only wears Ohio stuff.
Yes.
Because it doesn't really matter. Oh, and Spay, because we
You
make
know
fun.
where everyone went to
Yeah, okay,
school on
so
the team.
but
What
I
are you
don't look
talking
at-
about?
But I don't look at
The only
that.
one you might not know is Mike Mount because no one knows.
No one knows. Hey, no true second at this is breaking from United World Wrestling. There will be no true second.
Why'd you make that up?
I didn't make it up. I said the rumors were swirling.
People made it up on
Twitter
Twitter
made it up.
last night.
It got made up on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're setting the record straight. No true second. So make the finals.
You better.
Okay. Anyways,
Continue.
whether you graduate or not doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Then
whether I
what?
graduate or not, I did, though, just to put it out there. I did. I walked, I had the hat, I looked handsome, I had my tie. But after that was kind of looking for a job, milling around, doing some stupid internship here and there. And then Mr. Christian Piles tweets, if you are interested in a job or working at FloWrestling, send your application here. So I do it, super excited. I also tell my good buddy Dylan Palacio, who had an in with you guys at the time, like, hey, put in a good word, get me in there. Did he ever do that, CP?
Absolutely not.
God damn, I was giving this kid a lot of credit. Sorry for another GG, but I've been giving this kid a lot of credit when I tell this story all these years, and DP will have to have a conversation off
You know who did at one point was Giant DeJulius.
JDJ, I knew that because he's my man. Real friends, all right? But either way, I'll get back to that. Dylan, we got beef. But I put in my application and all that, and then it was literally, I think, the week after was Eastern States in upstate New York, which I wrestled in, placed 7th, no big deal. Coached in, my guy took 3rd, no big deal. But
It's a good tournament.
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Flo was covering it, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to drive up there and give somebody my resume. Get in their face, talk to them, say, I'm Ollie, you want to hire me. So I go up there. My brother comes along with me. We get lost. We get stuck in some snow.
I can see that up there. It's kind of in the middle of
He's jamming
nowhere.
rocks under the tire as I'm stuck. I'm jamming on the gas. It shot the rock out like a bullet. Almost took his leg off and then broke the guy's mailbox. But we got out of there. No charges. We get back. We finally get there. I'm looking for one of the Flow content guys. I don't really see anybody. I realize I didn't really see him because Mike Mao was sitting right by the mat commentating. And I ended up going and talking to one of the producers, give him my resume. I don't know if it ever got back to anybody again. So who knows? This is a fable.
I don't know if it made it back to.
But
Austin.
either way, I get an email from Mr. Christian Piles. Hey, interested in your resume? Would you mind answering some of these questions? I was like, heck yeah. Remember all the questions. What was your favorite college match? That at that time of that season, at that time it was Terrell and Gilman because Terrell hits him with the spladle. Gilman tries to fight him afterwards because of the rough goings and stuff. It was a good one. Then favorite high school match. I said it was Elijah Rodriguez, my homie from LB, winning Eastern States over a nationally ranked opponent. And some other stuff. Then you like those answers. Boom. Video conference interview. Me and you were talking. It's going well. Now that I think back to this interview, you Michael Scotted me pretty hard.
Oh,
You go like this. You're talking to me, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm at the old HQ. Wi-Fi's pretty bad. I'm going to change locations. Give me 5 minutes. It's only 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great. Sitting here, nervous, sweating through my quarter zip that says Coach of Stone, and I want you to see it and know I'm serious. So, great. Now I'm just sitting here waiting. But it went awesome anyway. Really hopeful. I'm really hoping I get the job. Week later, I get an email. You didn't get the job, and I cried. So, was very upset, very upset. But
him
it was
cry,
one of the
dude.
nicest. You made me cry.
What the
You were
hell?
so serious. It was like heartbreaking moment, almost like it was tough. But what do resilient people do?
That's it.
They rise up. So it was actually a very nice rejection. You said, I think you could do great for FloWrestling. It was kind of an uphill battle. We had a freelance or contributor who was in the front running. So I was like, whatever. I think it was Space dumbass. But either way, then he writes his articles and I'm starting to see his stuff. I'm like, it's kind of cool. So whatever. I guess I like this guy. And then, so it's a little quiet for a little while. I go on some road trips with Dylan and Johnny. It helps me out because Johnny helps me out getting good word out about me. Dylan doesn't because he just is supposed to be my best friend and doesn't help me. So, no, he really did. It helped me a lot, just busting chops. But after that road trip, boom, hit up CP. He says, I got an opportunity for you. Journeyman Northeast Duels. Or actually, it was Fall Classic.
Probably Fall Classic, yeah.
It was Fall Classic. And then killed it, obviously. A lot of hustle, a lot of knowledge about the sport. Mike Mao's like, ooh, this kid knows. Spade's milling around in his thrifted top, So it went really well, and I would just stay dog on the bone, bothering CP all the time. Hey, when's my next event? Hey, I want to work this one. Can I work this one? So it was about 2 years of that, and then what happened next? Oh, okay, this is what happens. So we're talking, then the marketing guy is like, hey, Ollie, CP, he doesn't realize your stardom, He didn't say this, but he was like, hey, I see you're a killer. Everybody talks how great you work. I have an opening. Would you want to come help me out part-time? Start doing that. Was doing that for about 6 months or something. Then the opportunity opens up for full-time. I fly in, do the interview, sweat through my button-up shirt. And the first interview so bad that when I go to the bathroom the next time, I was packing paper towels in my armpits.
Ollie's a big sweater.
Big sweater, packing paper towels in the armpits. So doing that. And then it's a bit of a game because you have to keep your arms cinched to keep the paper towels there so they do their absorbing job, And it's rough because, it started out with, my guy from marketing, and then it's CP and Howell. I'm like, I know these guys. It's easy. But then it gets harder and harder, and I'm just getting sweatier and sweatier. So all in all to say, it goes well, I get the job, and then boom, I'm here at Flow. And it was pretty cool because I remember actually when CP made me cry and told me he didn't want me working for him.
And he hated you.
Yeah, he hated me pretty much. No, it was one of the nicest rejections anybody could honestly get. I remember calling him and saying, hey, I don't view this as a rejection. This is just a delay. I will be working at FloWrestling. It's just a matter of time at this point. So I don't know if you know that, but I know it, is what I told him. And look at that. I'm here. So big, I guess, origin story from Oliver. You guys have been wondering. That's how I got here.
Yeah, and I believed you.
You don't even remember. You don't even remember me saying that, you liar. You don't remember me saying that.
Listen, I remember.
Liar.
Yeah, you did. You said I remember I was talking to you in one of these whisper rooms, and I remember you said something like. You said exactly that. I remember.
I don't know. Sounds like my story just said right back to me. But
You did say I don't look at this as a rejection. I don't know if you said. I don't know if you were as.
I was not. I added some pizzazz on this one.
I don't know if you said I will be working there,
No.
but you're like But you definitely said like, hey, I'm going to continue to persevere and do whatever I can. And yeah, listen. I don't know should I not have hired Spade? Now I feel like I have to justify.
No, it was no. It worked out perfectly. The
I think
timing
it
was
worked
the
out
best.
perfectly.
Me too. I think if I would have got the job then, I wasn't ready yet. I needed to go through the farm system, pay my dues. So that was that.
You really did.
Earn my way here, and I'm better because of it. You got to go in and grind and earn your spot. So. No,
you were super. I mean, you really did. I found you incredibly impressive. Just green, but you had all the personalities traits that I thought would translate and work here. So.
And all in all, I'm here.
And now that's what matters.
That's what matters. Found a way.
God bless the broken road.
It worked out perfectly because if I would have got the job early, I would have had to live with I don't know, whoever, Spay or something.
Yeah.
I can't live with that guy.
Yeah.
But
a lot of
worked
Spay
out
animosity.
perfectly.
We're gonna have some peer mediation here after.
It's you know what? I think I've been harboring it down low.
Yeah.
A little bit for a while because I do like to bust his chops a lot about his Android and other things, but. Spay's a great guy, makes awesome content. Shout out Spay. He also helped me out a lot to get me here. What are you guys reading?
We're just looking at Long Beach.
I don't know if this is Long
Yo,
Beach.
that's me! That's me!
This is you?
Look. So zoom in. You want me to?
Yeah.
So Dylan's got the surfboard. You see the guy with the surfboard?
yeah.
Oh, you're to his left.
One over is Dan Fatier. Shout out Dan Fatier. One over is me. Okay? The guy with the handlebar mustache, right? To my right, to the left of us looking at it. That's Zach Bukovzer. That was my ZB3, we called him. That was my wrestling partner. He wasn't that great, but he gave me he pushed me. Then to the right of that is Nick Corey. He coached with me at Hewlett, and one of my best buddies to this day. He just got engaged. Congratulations, Nick and Alessandra. Then you have Mark making a funny face. Mark Raganandan, he was one of the leaders of the Guyanese Mafia, a popular faction coming out of Long Beach. Mm-hmm. That's Oral Allen. Me and him almost fought on the bus going to our Nassau County. We were getting recognized by some Nassau County politician, and then we almost got into a fight on the bus. So, and then that's half the team. Wow, how'd you guys find that?
Tyler.
That's crazy.
Tyler's a magician.
I got that framed and hanging up in my apartment.
Dang. Man, it looks
that's a dope schedule poster.
Right? That's pretty cool, man. And that was before people were really doing schedule posters like that, So we kind of put it on the map, I think, nationally.
I think, this may be the first schedule
For sure,
poster.
no one else did those.
Minnesota did some after.
They tried.
Kilgore did one with a book.
Why a book?
Why book? Surfboard?
Hey,
Why surfboard?
Ollie, it looks like you're balding there. You're not balding, though.
No, what do you mean? I got the flow.
But
I got lettuce.
The way your hair...
a bad angle.
You have great hair. Bad angle.
Yeah.
Well,
you should
I'm
ask for
going
a
like this.
reshoot.
I'm going like this. Watch.
The head back.
Yeah, head back.
So the head back makes you...
Head back, and then they were
that.
photoshopping, so they probably cut some off when they were doing the cropping,
Right.
Yeah, they kind of jacked up my hairline.
They jacked
That's
up
what
your
I'm saying.
hairline,
That's
for
what I'm
sure.
saying. That doesn't look
Well,
like
you know,
the
this
truth.
isn't a high-res photo. When I show you the high-res, it's better.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dang. Looks like
You know what? Messed up story about that. Okay. Coach Adams. Coach, I still don't forgive you for this. So that spot is about 2 miles away from my high school. Mm-hmm. It's about to be wrestling practice, and he goes, all right, guys, team run to the photo shoot. So we put on all our sweats and everything. It's freezing out. We run there, get sweaty. Then he's like, all right, take all your stuff off. We're taking these photos.
Pneumonia time.
Pneumonia time on the beach. It's freezing. And he goes, all right, put your stuff back on, team run, back to practice. And then we had to practice. And I was like, why can't we just drive here and then drive back? You know, I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. Yep. See, look. How do I look now?
Yeah, you look...
Glow up.
Yeah, it is quite a glow up, Polly. Looking good, bro.
Wow, that's over 10 years ago. I'm old, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It happens fast, kid.
Man, I'm finding old emails from you from back in the day. When's this from? 2017, January. I've got that. I've got your
my favorite matches.
Your
and stuff.
answers. Yeah, I got all that stuff.
It was great.
It's
well
funny
done.
seeing formal Ollie's emails, just knowing that I know.
Yeah, what you know now.
You know,
Yeah.
And the piece of content I did like the nicest singlets of the year. I don't know how you guys didn't run that. That was sick. And number 1 was Mark Hall because he forgot his singlet and then won it in the North Forsyth High School singlet. He won Southern Scuffle. Come on, that was a cool story, man.
Great one. We're saving it.
I still have it saved on my desktop if you want to use it.
Okay, yeah. Get it in the CMS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, quite an origin. There's a lot more to it, but
Is there?
I think he hit like all of the
He hit it.
details.
I think I didn't do the cliff notes or anything. I gave you the full story there. I thought.
Okay.
You know more than I don't?
No.
What's your side of the story?
No, I mean, you characterized it great.
Pretty
I
well?
thought. Yeah, you were. I mean, I basically had my mind made up before we had listed that we were going to hire Spay, and you made it very interesting.
Made it a tough race.
Yeah, but we needed you when we got you. So
You know what? And I needed flow when I got flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't get what you want, you get what you need sometimes.
No, it really is.
And sometimes you get what you earn.
It's very exciting to have you here full time, and obviously I didn't realize. You know what? I had no idea you were the class clown funny guy, and I didn't know this. Listen,
I won Class Clown.
So I know.
And Most Huggable. Marvin McMoore, also on my wrestling team. You could see him in that photo. Made me pick one, which I was like, whatever, I get it. I picked Most Huggable. And then,
Smart.
No way.
yeah.
Class clown.
No, Christine Farfan was in the Most Huggable one, and we had a little, you know what I'm saying, hugging picture. It was cute. But the next year, Marvin McMoore wins 2, and he lets himself have 2.
I've seen this before.
Yearbook editor. It was horrible, man. But what do you
Don't
say?
do it.
Just talking about people giving themselves awards, and I'll just leave it at that.
But yeah, I didn't like it. But either way, yeah, was Class Clown. And I'm very funny.
I know,
Yeah.
but I didn't. So it's like, these emails, it's like Mr. Formal Ollie, good. You know what, let me find one of these.
You should have been like typical Long Beach. It probably would have got you in the
First of all,
door
okay.
quicker.
No, you're not hiring me then.
I gotta show you. So the position was for an associate producer, that's content. Here's how he titled his email starts, Christian Piles, comma. It's not like Christian, Mr. Piles, Christian Piles, comma. I responded to your email that had a few questions in it. I'm sure that you were busy, so I didn't want to pester you, but I just want to make sure my email went through because this is a position I am extremely interested in. If you did not receive the email, I have attached answers to your questions in this email. I look forward to hearing from you and hope to one day be working with you. I'm also really looking forward to Ohio State versus Iowa. Nato versus Clark is going to be
Oh,
crazy.
this is good, Ollie.
Have a great day. Best wishes, Oliver Stone. How hilarious.
That's an email from a guy who graduated college.
Hell yeah. And my mom helped me write those a little bit. But she would just proofread them.
That's good, man. But listen, so 2017, our relationship begins. I don't find out you're hilarious until months into your full-time employment.
Well,
you did
I would do
multiple
the
trips
same-
with us.
Yeah.
You went to NCAAs with us. And
you spoke over me the whole time.
That's not true.
You just
Don't
spoke over me
be
the whole
lying.
time. No,
Don't lie
it's
now.
not. It's not. But still, like, all right, I will say this. My sense of humor and personality is I like to bust chops I razz a little bit, kind of go places where people are like, oh, I might not have said that, but he says it in like a funny, non-mean way. But I can't do that too early. I got to know who I'm working with, the ins and outs. So it takes a little time for me to break out the funny, I guess.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you for blessing us with you. You are very funny. It is one of your many gifts, Ollie. So,
thanks, guys.
So thank you.
Shout out Bailey Brown and all the other love.
Shout out Bailey.
Yeah.
He wanted to know.
He also asked who my favorite wrestler was, and honestly,
Allen
this
Iverson.
is no joke. Allen Iverson. He had a great low single. No, but seriously,
He probably would.
I was nonstop watching Ben Askren interviews, and he was definitely my favorite. Could not get enough Ben Askren content, and now he's not here, doesn't show up when he said he would, so not my favorite anymore.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Happens that easy, Ben.
Yeah, it's like that. Okay. Why don't we we'll save the John Kozak origin story for another day. But
Right.
he basically already told it. He was in the Facebook chat. He got fired, rehired by Ben, and now he works here full time.
There it is.
It was a preposterous thing for Ben to try to fire you too. Like he was just wrong.
That was my first thing I did for Flow was the international rankings, and he latched onto it. And
Yeah, well, he has a
Yeah.
hard time letting go of things. Like this Hodge Trophy thing, we're going to be talking about this Hodge vote forever.
But yeah, I love it because he's getting to the bottom of it.
He is. He's Carl Mundane, the
Yeah.
crap out of Win Magazine.
He's the
Ben
Hodge,
Monday.
Hodge Trophy watchdog.
He is. We need the watchdog. Because otherwise they're just going to give out two
They're going to give out
awards.
2 every
They're
year.
just
What
going
if-
to give it to who they
I'm
want
telling
to win.
you, they're setting this up to give out 2 every year.
Yeah,
What
why
if we
not?
actually just get Carl? Let's call Carl and see what he thinks about it.
Oh my gosh! If we got Carl on the case, I'm worried what would happen to Win Magazine.
Oh, he might,
He pulls no punches.
and he might find some things out we didn't even know.
Yeah,
Some stones better left unturned.
you're right. Okay, questions from friends. From Jums. My name is Jums. Who hates their shirt more, Kyle Dake or AJ Ferrari? So I think AJ Ferrari hates his shirt more.
I do too.
Because he will disrobe when it is not socially acceptable to disrobe. Whereas Kyle Dake he'll wear a shirt when you're supposed to wear a shirt.
yeah.
So that's my
If it's
perspective.
optional, he's probably not wearing one.
If it's optional, he won't wear it.
Yeah.
Which I like that. I'm kind of the same way when it gets warmer. But AJ, he'll pop tops whenever, wherever.
and he'll do it aggressive, like he'll rip the shirt.
Aggressively,
He'll get violent with the shirt itself
Yeah.
and really show some disdain for the.
And Dake he knows the solar callus too, where his solar callus is at, and then also I think he also knows if he's hating something, it's going to raise his cortisol levels.
Right.
So he's got all that in check.
Yeah, so he literally can't hate his shirt because it will make him not win the Olympics.
These foreigners have no idea what they're getting into with Dake.
No.
Their cortisol levels are going to be so high.
He's
They're
gonna
not
spike.
charging with the sun.
no.
No.
They're
Kyle
not,
Dake's charging his batteries with the sun.
they're not grounded.
It's strong, guys. The sun burnt the hell out of me. He's harnessed that power and uses it for himself.
He doesn't get sunburn anymore. He said that.
He's very.
like Tom Brady?
Well, it's interesting because Kyle Dake is like naturally a very fair-skinned person, but now
He's very pale. Look, go back and watch like early Cornell days.
yeah. But now he's like, yeah, I guess.
Maybe I gotta get sunburn training from him.
Well, I bet there is a way you can like
Check out the TB12 method too. Apparently, if you
He
just
just
drink
said
a bunch
drinks
of
water.
water,
Yeah.
Drink
which
water.
is
I
drank
total.
a bunch of
That's
water
total
too.
BS.
Yeah, I drank
Don't
a bunch
do
of
that.
water.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of alcohol in the water, but like, I still drank the water.
I wonder if that had some sort of a negative impact. We'll never know.
Didn't have a positive one.
Who's more likely to make an NCAA final, DeSanto or Marinelli? Well, I'll say Marinelli, I think, because if Griffiths goes up like we think he is, I just look at the construction of the weight. It seems laid out for him. I don't believe in,
The thing is, you would have picked Marinelli to be a finalist this year, and it was kind of like a crazy thing that he wasn't. And on the other hand, with DeSanto, like, people were picking him, but he wasn't a favorite by any means to be in the finals. So,
Yeah, you still got Dayton and RBY
boom.
right there.
Yeah. And I don't see those guys changing weights.
No.
Roman does have a red shirt, but why would he use it? Seems like they'll be back, and they look like the class of it. Now, I mean, DeSanto was right there with Dayton. It was not a runaway match. It was relatively close, but I just think in Dayton fixed matches, the difference is can you take him down, and I don't know if DeSanto can. And he's had 2 matches and he has not done it. So I will say Alex Marinelli.
I will say Austin DeSanto.
Ooh,
Based on what we have seen from Alex Marinelli at the NC2A Championship.
Now that's a good point as well.
Well, what?
Well, I mean, at one NCAA tournament, he got majored by someone he had majored. Austin DeSanto, that is. It's not like he's had some. He used to beat Roman Bravo Young. Now he doesn't beat him. I don't know. I think
NC2A champion Roman Bravo Young.
NC2A champion Roman Bravo Young, yes, but I'm okay. I mean, I just don't think it's
Stevan Micic.
all right. Fine.
Didn't Marinelli get like majored by Wick on the back end too? And then like the next time he
Well,
wrestled
his
him, wrecked
freshman
him.
year he got majored, but not since.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he got majored and then
He got
Penslayed.
then Penslayed by McFadden.
Right.
And then let's just go through the Alex Marinelli. So his freshman year, he lost to Imar, then Penslayed by McFadden, and then majored by Wick. So
Yeah.
those are his 3 losses. But that's fine. Fine freshman year. Sophomore year, he lost to who?
Mackay.
That was the Mackay year.
Yeah.
So he lost to Mackay and then Marsteller.
Mm-hmm.
And then he beat Logan Massa.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Flex on our coach.
He
Flex
flexed
on
on his
your
career.
career.
You
some
got to
might
tell that
say.
story.
Do you want me to tell it?
You don't have to name names, but
Yeah, just don't name names.
but
Name names or organizations.
you
yes.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You get it.
So, this is my first NCAAs, and I had Austin DeSanto on my fantasy team, and I'm sitting up in the press row, and he wins. I think
The
it's
high
actually-
press roll.
You're like
yes,
way up.
yeah, bird's nest, like bird's eye view looking down. And DeSanto gets the win, and I was a little excited because I had him on my fantasy, and I'm like, yeah, let out like a little excitement. And then Spade comes over, and he's like, hey, man, just like, it's not a big deal. Nobody's going to really yell at you, but on press show, we kind of try not to cheer. You're not supposed to cheer. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Very unprofessional. It was stupid anyway. It's not for like my squad or anything. It's just my fantasy team. So then I'm sitting there, and there's a guy there from another wrestling media outlet. And he's having some adult beverages. He's having some fun. And then it's Marinelli and Massa wrestling. Marinelli beats him to knock him out of the tournament. And this was after the flex on Tom Brand's thing at Big Tens that Logan Massa had done after beating Marinelli. So this man stands up at the top of his lungs, goes, flex on my coach, I flex on your career. And just lost it. And I remember like, damn, this guy's freaking nuts. Like I didn't do anything compared to that. Like this is Spay, you're talking to me, go talk to this guy. You know what I'm saying? And then also, you didn't flex on his career. You watched the match, guy. Like you watched the match and the guy you cheer for won. And it's not your coach either. He didn't flex on your coach. So
Yeah.
it was a very funny thing. But
Flex on my coach, I flex on your career.
you know
Is
what?
an
Shout out that guy's passion though.
That is an all-time line
He
from
was
someone
holding on to that one.
who just covers the team. Mm-hmm. All-time story. And that's it. But you know what? Prime example of Ollie just holding out, not sharing the funny with me. Well, I didn't hear that story till like several months ago.
Well, man, maybe you should listen to me when I talk and when you're driving in the cars and stuff, you know?
You always turn it back on me. You know that?
One of my
All right.
tricks.
Okay, next question. Which college wrestler had a completely different season than what you expected from them, either underperforming or overperforming? And I did not write this, but he said, for me, Noah Adams not being an All-American was rough. Ethan Smith far outpaced my expectations. Do any stick out to you guys collectively? And I think season. So, like, Noah did not have a really bad season. He just can't beat Stephen Buchanan for some strange reason. But he wasn't, like, terrible.
It was just pretty much one guy.
Just one guy, and then he got sad on the backside, I think.
I mean, I think Rocky Elam's really good too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who he
True.
hit on the backside. And Elam had got upset by Woodley earlier in the tournament. And
20s.
Noah's never lost to Woodley, you know? So
Right.
how maybe he could have gone on a run if it had been Woodley instead of Elam. So yeah, I'm trying to think of guys.
Brandon Courtney's one for me. I was kind of always ready for him to. I was like, yeah, okay. But then he beat Teskey. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then he just kept being really good the whole year long. When we had the ACC guys thinking they were the 2 and 3, he was just the second best guy all year long, basically. And I did not expect that. After his first couple of years, I was like, he'll be a good qualifier type of dude. I don't know if he's a guy that's gonna push for All-American or place really high. And he was just super, super good. And I remember back in, because, he's from Arizona, Danny Vegas from Arizona, and they were kind of around the same age, same weight or whatever. And I was like, man, I'd much rather have Vega. I just thought Vega was like way slicker, but freaking Courtney, he's legit. So he was definitely a big surprise for me. Trying to think of others.
For me, it was Bernie Truex.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know he had. What did he? Was it U23s? Or
Yeah, he won.
He did really good there.
Yeah, at the U23 Nationals in November.
Yeah, his NCAAs was just different level. He beat Massa and then he beat Labriola, and then ended up taking fourth. So I think also with him, like Cal Poly, you don't you don't really see him much, and for him to do what he did was pretty cool.
No, Truex for sure. That's a great one. And he was someone that Bracky would always be like, when his name would come up, it'd be like, Bernie Truex. Bracky would be like, he's really good. I'm like, okay. And then freaking NCAAs, I'm like, this guy's he's amazing.
I definitely wasn't predicting him to beat Massa or Labriola.
No.
Back to back, yeah.
But
he's got the goods,
I just
man.
thought he was good, yeah.
He's super good.
Spencer Lee came out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. He's like Gilman-esque.
Like, yeah, Thomas Gilman at the Olympic trials.
I feel like he came out. That was an all-time question. Okay, that's a good one. Any for you, Ollie?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. That's fine. All right. Next question. Any word from Dr. Kimmer about the status or plan for Spencer's knee? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to get surgery. I don't know if he's just going to get really strong and be a freak of nature and not worry about the ACL thing. Feels like he should, but I don't know. From Kevin Mulder, Nomad speculated that some of our Olympic wrestlers will not go to Worlds this year because it's too quick a turnaround. What are your thoughts? Will Olympic medalists go to Worlds? If not, does that contribute to Ben's narrative about our men freestyle stars don't compete enough? I think they will. I mean, one, you're a wrestler. I mean, if they're healthy, obviously, is the thing. But I don't understand taking months and months off after. Maybe it's not ideal to try to win Worlds several months after the Olympics, but it's not like it's a month later. It's several months later. And if you're a medalist, you're already on the team. And I know, this is before Kyle made the team, but when we were doing the shoot for the Chamizo thing, I was like, if Worlds are, if you make the Olympic team and you get a medal, or you can go to Worlds, he said, hell yeah. He's like, absolutely. He's like, why wouldn't I? I was like, I don't know, because a lot of wrestlers don't wrestle a lot at the senior level. I think he would. I think David Taylor would, and I think they're going to medal. I think they're both going to win the Olympics. Gable said, there's only 5 guys right now, so Dake and Taylor, I think definitively would. Gable said, yeah, why not? He thinks he would.
Yeah. And Oliver, it's taken him so long to make a team. It's like, why would you not wrestle again? I think one of the things, though, when I saw this, that might play a part into it, is what does USA Wrestling say about 2022, and what is 2021? How does that play into the qualification, trial system? If somebody,
are you sitting out in 2022 if you medal?
Yeah. Or do you save your spot in 2021 at the Olympics for 2022? So I think that'll play into it, what USA Wrestling does.
Yes, that is a big part of it for sure. But I think Gilman would. And again, of course, health is always going to be the consideration. But and then Snyder, when has he not entered a tournament ever? That guy just he loves wrestling. I don't see him slowing down. Maybe he does. Maybe they do. If they win the Olympics, winning the Olympics can change everything. Or maybe have I could see someone if they have a really bad performance and it just doesn't go great, and you're like, man, I need to kind of regroup and refocus, and I'm not sitting out, so maybe I wait. But I think they will. I don't think we'll see a lot of them sit out, but maybe that's hope speaking. But to me, it's more common sense than anything. I think it makes sense for these guys to wrestle.
Especially when a lot of guys on the team, like Deacon Taylor, were denied for so long.
Yeah.
And, now you're the guys calling the shots. You're the ones sitting out. You're the ones that have the chance to go if you want to, Why wouldn't you?
And it's not like it's the non-Olympic worlds. It's a full 10-weight world championships. And when we look back in 10 years, it's going to be like, yeah, he won worlds this many times, and it will count. And I think Russia will try. I think we'll have the full weight of competition against us. So I think it'll be great, and I hope that that's not true, that they will sit out. Okay. If Ben maybe we'll save this one for. So the scenario is if Ben hires Ollie, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
As a streaming specialist, though, I mean,
yeah.
you can't afford me at this point.
No, at this point, yeah. Roy Donk, can you confirm that or deny that Mongoose is part of the Rocky Mountain Wrestling? Well, listen, you messed all this up, Roy. And if you want to jazz legend,
Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
It's Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Okay.
I can't forget a great.
Yeah.
Like that.
And no, Mongoose is not in the Smoky Mountain Wrestling because, one, I don't think that exists anymore. Two, he's not from the Smoky Mountains. He's from the Appalachian Mountains. And so, no, he's not a part of that. And he's doing other things right now. This is a great question that hopefully John Kozak knows. Otherwise, I will not know, but a few answers. What has the track record been for wrestlers qualifying from the last chance tournaments in the Olympics? How likely are they to medal?
So I just looked up 2016 last chance, just men's freestyle, and there were four guys that qualified at the last chance that wrestled for a medal, and then two that won bronze. So Frank took 5th at 65, Beksad took 5th at 74, and he qualified last chance. Saritov took bronze at 97, and then Seydu took bronze at 125. So you do math. A third of the wrestlers that qualified at the last chance, they wrestled for a medal. So
and also Jaden qualified at the first last chance.
The second last chance.
The first last chance.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. Because the second
last.
Because there were two last time.
You got to work on that naming convention there.
Yeah.
But I mean, normally it's pretty good guys that come out of the last chance.
Yeah, and it all depends on the weight and how strong that country was the year before at World, and so you can have great guys that haven't qualified yet.
Yep. So we'll see how we do there. I don't want to do that one because it just looks like a sad question, talking about the guys that didn't make the team. Someone asked about how many medals for our Olympic trials runner-up team, which would be Vito, McKenna, Burrows, Bo, Moore, and Gwiz. And this guy said over under 2.5. I would take the under there because I think over under 2.5 is not unfair for our number ones, truly. I don't think Vito's ready to medal at the Olympic Games. I can't say McKenna is. I think Burrows. Bo, I think, has a good chance of medaling. And Gwiz. So I would say 3. Over under 2.5 is probably spot on, actually. I'll take the under.
Yeah, if I were to pick, I would just say Burrows and Bo would be my top two. Just because 86 is wide open. So yeah, those would be my two.
Without David.
Yes.
Okay. Well, before we go, any other thoughts or questions for you guys before we call it a day? Ollie?
Nothing from me.
You said your piece?
I said my piece.
Said my piece, Chrissy.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Scrap Life. A reminder that today's FRL is presented by Scrap Life. Visit scraplife.com and enter in code FLOW21 at checkout for a free poster with your purchase. Scrap Life, champion level gear made for champion level athletes like Oliver the Bear Stone, our captain. Look at this. Look at that man.
Oh yeah,
What a
they jacked
beast.
up my hairline. I'm bummed out.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they didn't do you any
All right,
favors.
look everybody.
Look.
I got the lettuce.
He
I got the
wears
flow.
he wears a hat so much you would think he was a guy with hair
He's got
issues.
gray hair.
I do my hair
Why do
under
you
my
cover
hat
that good head of hair so much?
just so I surprise him.
Oh, okay.
Dang, you think that's all I got? Nope. Hair.
Oh, check it.
Yep.
Thanks for your hair. Thank you for listening.
Thank you guys for all who said the nice things about me on Twitter and the chat. Y'all my peoples. We need to hang out, come to Long Beach, get some beers with me. If you're not of age, we get sodas or Ralph's Italian Ice.
You don't live at Long Beach, but that's fine.
No, well, when I go. When
he goes. When he goes. Meet up with
I
him
got a
there.
wedding next month. Come through. You're invited to the wedding.
All right, I'm coming. See you there, guys. Bye.